Oh, nah. Hey, y'all. Did you miss me, man? Did you miss me? Because I have definitely missed you guys. Man, well, first of all, since the last time that I was here, you guys, I have already come into the shop. We're into our new place now. And this now here is the studio / the leather shop as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've been working for y'all the whole time. If you've been following me on social media, you already know what is going down. I want you guys to strap in. Buckle up your seatbelts. Because this one right here, I am going to turn a lot of heads with this one. Not only do we have the facts, not only do we have the proof, we know the exact dates that is all going down. Now, I'm streaming on multiple platforms right now, so I have my podcasting mic here, I have my lapel mic here, and then I have my other camera over here off on the side. So if you guys see me switching back and forth, don't be dismayed. This is so big and huge. This is so big and huge. Ladies and gentlemen, this one right here, I did not see coming. Now, I want to make sure that everybody can fully know and understand what we are getting off into right now, ladies and gentlemen. Across the news everywhere is this big power play about how the Republicans are getting rid of your benefits and they are getting away with everything, right? No, excuse me. First off, I'm going to give y'all some hard facts. Some of this stuff you have never heard before. You never heard it because you didn't know what to ask. And when you don't know what to ask, you will never hear the information. Nobody's going to voluntarily give it to you because this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. People, even Satan, if you count this, now I want everybody to follow now because we're going to get off into how you have been conned and the lie that you have been told about Social Security and how your benefits are being taken away and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, right now that your Social Security benefits never mattered in the first place. And I'm going to lay it all out for you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to present the facts. This is how they do in court. I'm going to present the facts. Now, I'm not trying to sway anybody's decision. I just want you to look at the facts or look at the information presented to you, and you and your intellectual mind make up your own decision and choice. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, Social Security has been in trouble since 1980 during the Cold War under Reaganomics and the Reagan administration. Now, some people are going to come on and they're going to hear part of it and they're going to be upset and in their feelings. This is why we give facts. Now, if you guys look down in that bottom corner right there, it says your favorite info plug. I am going to plug you in with the information that you need in order to help you be a little bit more successful and a little bit more aware of what's going on out here in the world. Now, if everybody can hear me very well, please drop a 1 in the comments. I'm going to try to make sure that this is all streaming right and everybody can hear me. Okay. Now, you guys also forgive me because I'm still suffering under the allergies. And this weather down here in Florida, oh my God. Man, it was 118 on the index yesterday, and it was 105 on the index today. So let me get over here and make sure that you guys can hear me very well. I just want to check the sound real fast, and then we're going to take off. I promise you, we're going to take off, and I'm going to be dropping some info. So grab your pen and your paper. Grab your pen and paper because I want you guys to write this down. you will know exactly what I have found out, and you are going to be shocked at what we have been lied to about. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, your Social Security, if y'all are tripping and worrying about Social Security, no, please don't. Because your Social Security is not there anyway. Now, your Social Security is not there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sound is good and everything's coming in. All right, so your Social Security has been in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, ever since 1980 during the Cold War under Ronald Reagan and Reaganomics. Now, in the laws of the government, it's not written down per se that the government borrowed money from the Social Security Administration to fund the Iran-Contra scandal, his war on drugs, and all this kind of stuff. But what happened is they borrowed money from the Social Security Surplus Fund. You see how, listen, the devil is crafty in his choice of words. They didn't borrow from the Social Security Administration directly. They borrowed the money from the surplus. So the money that was being paid in, they made it look like it wasn't money that was already attached. They borrowed money that was coming in. Now, how can you borrow money that's not even there yet or money that's coming in yet? Because, ladies and gentlemen, every record and every good bookkeeper knows how much money Social Security was bringing in every week through your paychecks. So they wound up taking the entire surplus that was not even paid in yet, and the military, the government started borrowing it. Now, I want you to understand this right here. Now, the comment, the chat box is all open. So if you guys have any questions, hey, this is why I'm the info. You will never know if you don't ask questions. So here we go. The way Social Security works, if you are an able-bodied working person, let's just say you started working at the age of 16, you don't qualify for Social Security. So from 16 up until the time that you retire, which that has moved for full benefits, that age has moved with every generation. It's never been designed for you to collect Social Security. This is the ripoff. So if you are 16, and let's just say you work until you are 65, right? All of that money from 16 to 65 supposedly went into your Social Security's trust, and that money was supposed to be given back to you in older age. But what happened? And somebody figured this out. Well, two things. If we borrow money now from the surplus and they are still working, we have time to put the money back in. But when they start having children, their children are going to start paying into Social Security too. So we will take the money that the children pay into Social Security, and we're going to pay the elderly by the time you get 65 and get old. Good plan. Good plan. A good way to run a good Ponzi scheme. The money that's coming in is going to pay for the ones that's already paid that we borrowed from. Ladies and gentlemen, if this ain't the big Ponzi scheme, I told you guys this when we did the video about the Girl Scouts of America. Biggest Ponzi scheme in the world, to the tune of $800 million a year for those little short months that the Girl Scouts of America are selling cookies. That's the biggest legal Ponzi scheme I've ever seen one, if it is. So is Social Security. Now, a lot of you are wondering, because a lot of people have got upset that Donald Trump done took our Social Security. Your Social Security is already gone. It has already been gone. So for those of you who are getting Social Security checks now, that money that's being paid to you is from my generation and my children. Now, has anybody ever looked at those Social Security benefit papers that come in the mail, the papers that come in the mail? It's like a 2-pager booklet folded in half, comes from the Social Security Administration, and it tells you how much money, the only 2 lines that are important to people, how much money you can get at partial benefits and what age, and how much money you can get at full benefits and at what age. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you from the first time that I started watching it, paying attention to it, I won't be able to, when I first started paying attention, I could have got full benefits. I could have gotten full benefits, trying to correct my grammar, at 77 years old. And I'm a 70s baby, 73. I'm 52 right now. So when I first started paying attention to this 10 years ago, I could have got full benefits at the age of 77. Now, what happened 10 years ago, ladies and gentlemen? What did you guys started noticing and seeing around the country 10 years ago? A lot of our elderly family was forced to go back to work. That's what made me start looking at it. Y'all, that broke my heart, man, to see these elderly people in Walmart as a greeter. That's when they had the greeters. And they're paying these elderly people who have already worked their entire lives. They've already raised their family. They have already, they should be playing with their grandchildren and enjoying the fruits of their labor. But now, 10 years ago, they were forced to go back into the workforce. And it was forced to go back into the workforce because a lot of them had to go in and do a refi on their home that they had already paid off. Put their children through college. I mean, they're supposed to be just riding around the country living it up. Now, I'm talking about the quote unquote so-called middle Americans, middle class Americans. Now, regardless of popular opinion, ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as a middle class American in no other society on the planet Earth. Only in America do you have a middle class. I want to break down what upper, middle, and lower class really means, but no other country on the planet, not even Europe, has a middle class. That is a made-up doctrine that gives people hope that they can become wealthy one day. Hopefully before you die. If you ever get a hold of the right information. So here we go. They started borrowing money in 1980 under Ronald Reagan. Then every war after the Iran-Contra and Reaganomics, every war that the United States has fought in since then has borrowed money from the Social Security surplus. So guess what, baby boomers? Our Social Security money is gone too. Guess what, Generation X? Your Social Security money is gone too. And now they're working on Gen Z. Every time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, somebody's going to be like, man, they borrow money from the Federal Reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. Please stop it. When you listen to stupid people, it makes you dumb too. They don't borrow money from the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a traditional bank in the sense of Wells Fargo, Truist, BB&T. No, stop it. The Federal Reserve, it holds, I want y'all to hear me well. They done froze me up. Ooh, they done froze me. But we're going to keep on going. The Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, let me see. All right, so y'all can still hear me. If you can still hear me, put a 1 in the comments, please. Put a 1, drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear me. The Federal Reserve is not a traditional bank in the sense. You don't go and borrow money from the Federal Reserve. What you do, ladies and gentlemen, the Federal Reserve is holding your bond certificate, your birth certificate. Now, this is where it gets deep, so you can understand what the capacity of the Federal Reserve is. Hey, we had to go back in, y'all. Something was crazy going on. It was kooky, but we're back. So let's do this. So I'm going to take up where we left off at. The Federal Reserve is the one that holds your birth certificate. Now, listen to that term, certificate. That certificate is a bond. It's a bond instrument. If you look at it, it has the blue ribbon all the way around it. That's the short form. Well, the long form has the one with the certificate. It has your little baby feet and baby hands on it. That one denotes that you are alive. The birth certificate that's in your possession signifies or denotes that you were born. This thing gets deep, and people are sitting up here arguing and tripping over a government that they don't even know what the deal is. Your birth certificate has 2, and you are issued 3 certificates over the course of your life: the birth, the living, and the death certificate. And the only 2 that most Americans is going to get is the birth and the death. You will never, ever see the living certificate unless you know how to go in and apply for it. Woo! Now, In that Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve has been flipping and making money off of your living birth certificate ever since the day that you took your first breath. Now, at birth, most people you don't know, some of you may have heard me talk about this in some of my other content videos. At birth, every American born on American soil received $1 million at birth. Well, you had access to it, but your parents gave it all back when they got their Social Security card and your birth certificate. That's when it went into the Federal Reserve Bank, and there are from that letter that's on the back of your Social Security card goes from A to L alphabetically, and there is a number that's associated with that A. I'll do it on another video and show you guys how you can tell which Federal Reserve Bank has your bond certificate. Now, they will never get, well, let me point this out to all people of color. This is why y'all were so upset and mad at President Obama for not giving us reparations. He couldn't. He couldn't have even if he wanted to. Nobody can. They've already paid it. How many of y'all knew that? They already paid Black America reparations at the tune of $1 million, and they snaked it back out of your grasp by making you a United States citizen and giving you a Social Security card. They will never pay reparations. Stop asking. Stop looking for it. They've already done it, and your parents gave it back to them. Now, before I go down, take you guys down that rabbit hole, and I'm gonna, so you gotta follow the page in order for me to tell you how you can find out which Federal Reserve has your bond certificate, because your Social Security number is the account number. That number supposedly came up at random. It's an actual account number. Now, the alphabet and the number on the back is associated to the routing number, but it gives it a different number when you look it up, when you start doing the research and looking it up. It gives you a different routing number. And then all you have to do at that point is put a 1 in front of your Social Security number, and it will tell you exactly which Federal Reserve Bank has your securities trust. Now, I'm still telling you guys why Social Security don't matter. And everybody's upset about losing their Social Security. It don't matter. Because you are classified under the government, well, under the corporation of the government. Most people don't know that there are two. There is the United States of America, and then there is the United States Department. Some of y'all need to pay attention to y'all bills when they come in the mail. The United States Department is the corporate side. The United States is a corporation. The United States is a corporation. Every state is a corporation. Every city is an incorporation. All you got to do is look at the sign when you enter into your city. And that sign that says, "Welcome to Gaston, Alabama, incorporated 18 something, something, something." It was incorporated. That means that the city, the state, and the country are businesses. Ooh. They are businesses. I don't even care what town you're in. Your town is incorporated. This is why, if you have a police department, police do not enforce law, they enforce policy. This is why when you are issued a ticket, you have to pay that to the corporation. So when you sign that ticket, you are entering into an agreement on it and saying you're already guilty. FYI, never sign a ticket. Never sign a ticket. I don't care if you're wrong as two left shoes. Never sign a ticket. Most people, especially in the Black community, we have made the grand mistake of trying to sue the city. Stop that. If you are listening to me, Black America, or white America, I don't care what color you are. If you have been wronged by the police department, do not sue the city police department. Sue the individual officers for stepping outside of their duties to enforce policy. Every police officer has a $1 million insurance policy that they have attached to themselves when they take the oath to be a police officer. Sheriffs, deputies, it doesn't make a difference. They all have it. And people make the mistake of trying to sue the police department, which is the corporation or under the entity of the corporation. And the entity, you know why you always get those cases kicked out? Because it wasn't the entire corporation that was at fault. It was the individual officer that stepped outside of his duties. Just FYI. Just FYI. Also, if you want to change laws, every person of color needs a life insurance policy of at least $500,000. So when they accidentally kill anybody, insurance companies gonna get tired of paying out their money. They will send the lobbyists to Washington, D.C., and then things will start changing under the law or under policy. This country is driven by money, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get back to your Social Security, because everybody's Social Security is gone. And the Ponzi scheme, the way a Ponzi scheme works is when you have that initial investment come in, they take that money and blow it on themselves. Then they go out and they have to go out and get more people to start working in the workforce. Why do you think the big push is to get the unemployment rate down? The big push is to get the employment rate down so more people can start paying into Social Security so they can have more money to pay the ones that they have already taken their Social Security benefits from. Now, let me tell y'all something. When I first started paying attention to this 10 years ago, I would have to be 77 to get full benefits. 77. I said, oh no. I'm not going to be sticking them little happy face stickers on a Walmart bag saying, welcome to Walmart. And I'm sitting up here about to pass out because my blood pressure medicine. No, that's not going to happen. But now, ladies and gentlemen, now, and I wish I had saved it because I wanted to show you guys that. Some of y'all getting y'all Social Security papers now. Look at that age before you can get full benefits. I'm 52. Now I have to be 83 before I get full benefits. I ain't no way in the world I'm going to be working till 83. Ain't no way in hell. The devil is 10 lies. You think that I'm going to be working? Man, every time I go into Publix, it breaks my heart, man, to see them people. They shaking so bad they can't even push the numbers. And then they trying to pick up milk. The milk is heavier than what they can pick up. If that don't break your heart, America, shame on you. Watching your grandmother and your grandparents. But let me tell you something. Wealthy folks don't care. And I'm going to tell you why they don't care. Wealthy America don't care about your Social Security because they're not paying anything into it anyway. The rich are not paying 1 penny into Social Security. Well, the ones who receive an income do. Jeff Bezos paying a little bit, but not on the whole $167 billion that he's worth. He's only paying into Social Security $300,000. That's how much his annual salary is. Elon Musk is not paying into Social Security at all because, one, he's not a United States citizen. He has dual citizenship because he was born in South Africa. He's just all the way reaping the reward. Plus, he don't earn an income anyway. But look at all of the multimillionaire. Oprah, you think Oprah is paying into Social Security? Everything is owned by Harpo Productions. I'm going to explain that to y'all in a minute. Everything that Oprah Winfrey is in control of is owned by Harpo. Her television network, her book club, her mansion, her helicopter, even the helicopter she bought Stedman for his birthday. It was purchased by Harpo. I have told you guys one time, and I'll tell you all the way every time till I'm blue in the face. The name of this game is Own Nothing, Control Everything. What are you talking about, Muhammad? Let me tell you something. Can y'all see that? Let me get that up in there. I don't want it to fade. It's going to fade anyway. Hold up. Let me get it the way it won't fade. Well, if you can't see it, ladies and gentlemen, right here, let me get rid of this green screen. Let me get rid of this. And then we're going to get right off into showing you guys just what we are talking about. We're going to get right off into showing you guys what we're talking about. So y'all won't think that I'm telling y'all the story. I don't do that. Well, anyway, this says RDM Business Group. That's what this is. This is my Wi-Fi, my internet service, and all of that. Here's my insurance. Now, this is through another company that I own. So, I think I showed you guys one time. Look at here. Let me show y'all this. I haven't received a paycheck in 6 years. See that right there? RDM Online Marketing. Another company that I own, that I contract out with. I don't get paid, ladies and gentlemen. I don't receive an income. The name of this game, the game is this. You don't have to be rich to take advantage of these strategies. There is not a certain set dollar amount that you have to have in order to take advantage of these strategies. You just got to have the information in order to play the game. That's all you need, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of social media influencers out here on social media. I'm gonna say influencers, but there are a lot of people out here on social media that's trying to tell y'all this and they want y'all to buy their master class. But if they can't show y'all proof, y'all just giving them y'all money and y'all are part of the same Ponzi scheme. You got somebody else that's doing another Ponzi scheme on you. I lived this life, and that ain't boasting or bragging, but because I lived the life, this is how I'm able to talk the way that I talk. I don't worry about jail and man, Muhammad gonna get y'all locked up. I just told y'all I've been doing this for the past 6 years. I started studying 10 years ago. Now it's full-fledged into practice. I don't own anything. Not this mic, not this computer, not my cell phone. Not the company's cell phone. The cell phone is a tax deduction and write-off. The laptop, a self-deduct. This mouse is not, it don't belong to me. I am a contracted worker that leases out my services in return for favors under equal value. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bartering system. Anybody ever heard of bartering and trading? I barter out my services to the company RDM Online Marketing, RDM Business Group, RDM or Premier Leather Crafters, Lux Connect, all of the companies that I am affiliated with. I barter out my services, and the company is the one that gets paid. The Fragrance Club, where I go in and I do content videos and reviews on different fragrances and colognes. That's not my company. I work for them. Got the applications and the contracts and all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what, when people start talking about, if you are worried about losing your Social Security, you have already lost the game all the way. You have already lost and you don't even know it. Let me tell you how, well, matter of fact, let me show y'all this. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. So you're going to be able to find it just like I do. Boom. Now, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. When did the United States start borrowing from Social Security? Here it is. Start year was 1883. Now, this is according to the AI technology. Now, AI is not Democratic, it's not Republican, it's not a socialist, it's not black, it's not white, it's a computer. The practice began formally after Social Security Administration in 1983, which were enacted under President Ronald Reagan to address a looming insolvency crisis. As part of the fix, payroll taxes were increased, full retirement age was gradually raised. Remember, I told you that? At first, for my generation, it was 77. Now it's gradually raised to 83. The Social Security Trust Fund was allowed to hold large surpluses, which were then invested in special issues U.S. Treasury securities, i.e., loaned to the government. Ladies and gentlemen, when you don't know the question to ask, you'll never get an answer. You'll never get it. You don't even have to use AI if you don't want to use AI. Just Google it. Just Google it. If you don't trust Google, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. Whatever platform or research engine you use. This is all public information, but if you don't know the information to start looking for, it'll stay hidden. You know, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us the best place to hide knowledge is in a book. Why is that? People don't like to read. And that's a problem. They want everybody to tell them something, but then when it starts sounding too fantastic, oh man, that's a lie. How do you know? Go read it for yourself. I told y'all, listen, y'all, Satan has never lied to anybody. Satan has never lied to anybody. So how the hell did he get the title the father of all lies when he hasn't told nobody a lie? Satan presents you with a choice. That's all the power that he has. The power of choice. God has already told us, each and every last one of us, whatever faith or religion you practice, all religions have a common denominator, and that's obey the structure of the laws given from your higher power. That's it. That's all. But here comes Satan. Man, God knows you ain't gonna surely die. Why he tell y'all not to eat of that tree? Because he said if we eat of that tree, we will surely die. Man, God knows you ain't gonna die. He knows your eyes is gonna be open just like his. Did he lie to Eve? No. He gave Eve a choice. And sometimes that choice is woo-woo, because you really want to know. We curious. We want to know a lot of stuff. Even in today's time, everybody want to know about them Jeffrey Epstein files. Is that going to make it better? Trump didn't go to D.C. to drain the swamp. Trump went to D.C. to protect himself. You cannot drain a 300-year, 400-year-old system. You can't do that. But he went in there to make sure that his name couldn't be found out. And that's exactly what he's doing. Distraction after distraction after distraction after distraction. It was never nothing in them Epstein files. Don't nobody want to sit up here and watch no children porn. But now, let me drop this to you. The camera that was supposedly Jeffrey Epstein's cell, that wasn't his cell. His cell was up under the cameras. Read the federal prisons report. See, the information is in the reports. And that report stated that the camera that was facing Jeffrey Epstein's cell was not working. So everybody's in an uproar about that little 1 hot minute, when that 1 minute wasn't even his cell in the first place. Don't take my word for it. Go back and read the federal prisons. It's all freedom of information. They can't redact that. Now, moving on. So the big beautiful bill passed, and everybody was talking about they taking your Social Security. Social Security was already gone. And you know why rich people, and I said this before, rich people don't care nothing about Social Security because they're not paying into it anyway. Wealthy people already have a way for their money to keep making money even when they are old. Anybody, Warren Buffett is old as hillside dirt, and Warren Buffett is still making money. Why he ain't at Walmart putting stickers on bags or working at Publix? Donald Trump is 77 or 70, he's 70 something. He almost 80. He's still making money. Now he got Trump cell phones. dude got MAGA Crunch cereal at $25 a box. Wealthy people always have a way to keep making money even when they're old. And even if they stop working the traditional way, then what they do, they go on speaking tours, start writing books, start going in like Zig Ziglar, just start speaking at conferences. You can't take away from the man's resume. Wealthy people aren't concerned with Social Security. Only poor people. Why? Because poor people have been fed this garbage that you can live off of Social Security. Let me tell y'all something, man. Right now, Social Security full benefits for a woman who's 80 years old is $780 a month. Do you guys know what the average national rent is across the country? $1,500 a month. How in the world can you afford to live in old age when your rent, if you are renting, and then even if you haven't second mortgaged the house, anything can happen. Social Security is not enough money to maintain your livelihood. It's not even enough money to maintain your utility bills. You still got to eat groceries. You still got to pay insurance. You tell me how you going to survive on $780 a month, if you lucky. Y'all know what my full benefits is at 83? $1,118. Even if I was 83 right now, I couldn't afford to pay my mortgage. Listen, y'all, what if the bathroom goes out? You don't have no money on that on Social Security to make that payment. So now you got to go borrow money again. And to repay that loan, you know they're not going to give a person at a certain age who don't have an income, a proven income. You can't get a loan on Social Security, and that's your only source of income. But this is the play. They are hoping you die before you even collect full benefits. Do you know what the national life expectancy for a Black man in America is today? 67. I'm only expected to live to be 67. And in certain cities, that age is all the way down to 17. Chicago, California, New Orleans, Atlanta, that age, New York, 17 to 25 is the life expectancy. The truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, the planet is overpopulated. There are too many people on the planet. If you guys go back and read that World Health Organization report, this was done 15 years ago. We don't have enough food on the planet to sustain the current population at 4.9 billion people. Now, let me tell y'all something else to stop doing. Stop, ladies and gentlemen. Please stop it. I want to make sure that my mic stays on. Please stop thinking that everything is a Democrat and Republican problem or issue. Well, let me get back over here because let me finish this up. How many times has this happened? The first one, the Cold War military buildup, 1980, 1991. This was when Reagan, Gorbachev, and Bill Clinton tried to starve Russia and make the Berlin Wall come down. The Gulf War, I know y'all remember that, 1990, 1991. Yes. Funded while SSA surpluses were growing. They were still borrowing money. The Iraq War and Afghanistan, yes. Now we're starting to hit deficits. This is under the Bush Jr. administration, 2001 to 2011. And then the war on terror. Definitely under the Bush administration after 9/11. It continues through budget borrowing mechanisms today. So when they went over there and bombed the crap out of Iraq for Israel, they borrowed some money. Since 2010, Social Security has been paying out more than it takes in. So the government is now repaying those borrowed funds with interest. Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi scheme. That's what they're paying it with. So now this is where the Federal Reserve comes in, because the Federal Reserve keeps up with all of those notes. Now, if at any time you can, only a sovereign nation can borrow money against the international world banking system. Now, how do you borrow money from an international world bank? You have to put up your country's sovereignty as collateral. That means in order for the United States to borrow money from the Federal Reserve, which is under the international central banking system that was started by Ansel Rockefeller, Ansel Rothschild, he had 7 sons. One son went to each continent, 7 continents, and they started an international central bank. This is all information that you guys can go read. And the one that came to the United States is the Federal Reserve. So here's the thing about Federal Reserves, or not the Federal Reserve, but the central banking system. They will fund both sides of the conflict. So when Israel is trying to bomb the hell out of Gaza and bomb the hell out of Iraq, guess what the central banking system in Saudi Arabia does? It loans them money too to shoot missiles back. Why? Because sovereignty is at stake. They don't care who wins. They just want to get both of them in debt. Now, ain't that greedy? Ooh, and you think these people are worried about your little $800 pennies? They don't care about how you eat. We overpopulated anyway. They want you to die. They want to fund and finance wars. So now, the more people that are dead, the more money that is coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a money play for those that we don't see. The true power behind the government. The swamp, as it's been adorably called. These people that are in power, they knew what type of person Donald Trump was. He a greedy SOB. He don't care about nothing but himself. That's all he cares about, himself. He is not smart enough to come up with Project 2025. And for those of y'all MAGA people that thought that Donald Trump came up with Project 2025 or Esther 2025, y'all are sadly mistaken. That man ain't that smart. Listen how he talks. Anybody that talks with constant permanent duck lips, from what I seen, it's really, really bad or whatever. Dude got constant duck lips. And y'all think that he is smart enough to draft Project 2025? You think that he is smart enough to come up with the scheme to remove your Social Security benefits? Oh my God, poor MAGA, you have drank the Kool-Aid. The man tried to sell y'all gold tennis shoes. Golly. And you think he's smart enough? You think that he is smart enough? Now he has Trump Mobile. He is trying to sell you cell phones now. All of this stuff is to benefit and align his pockets. Anybody remember that the power tie, if you know how the business dress, the power tie has always been a red tie. And if you was a Democrat, it was the blue tie. You ever seen Trump wear a red or a blue tie this whole entire time that he's been in office? What color is it? Gold. And now it's called the Trump presidential tie. Anybody looked on his website and saw how much those ties are going for? Ooh, nobody in America can afford it. And where are those ties getting made? India. He's not even using an American company to make his ties. Oh my God. MAGA. Y'all have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and run astray. Your Social Security don't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me tell you how to fix that. Oh my God, I'm sorry. So that you don't have to worry about Social Security, I would encourage each and every last one of you to get a life insurance policy, specifically a whole life. Don't do that term life crap. I don't know enough about IULs and all that, but I know that whole life has been around for as long as the country has been here. And most importantly, you want a cash borrowing life insurance policy. Whole life. Several out there. Now, the thing with these policies are, you can set these policies up for whatever you can afford. Let me give y'all something. $250,000. Now, this is through Global. I have one through Global. I have actually 4 through Global. $250K Global life insurance policy is $18 a month. So mine is 18 times 4, simple mathematics. Y'all do that. $72 a month. For whole life, $250K. If I have 4, how much is that, ladies and gentlemen? $1 million. I ain't boasting and bragging. I work hard for that. It's only going to take you 10 grand to stick you in the ground. That's if you have a coffin funeral. And that's spending money on a nice coffin. So what we look at, ladies and gentlemen, is this. What we look at, ladies and gentlemen, is this. It's not going to take you $1 million to get put in the ground. But the number one cause mistake that a lot of people make, what they do, they leave their money to a person. Never leave your money to an individual. Now the government is back into your business, and they're going to charge you an inheritance tax. What you do, ladies and gentlemen, you leave your money to the trust fund. Create you a trust fund. Make the trust fund the beneficiary, and then you leave specific instructions through the trust on how that money is to be paid out. Now, this is known as the waterfall method. That was established and created by J.D. Rockefeller. J.D. Rockefeller established the waterfall method. You can purchase that book on Amazon. And what I tell you, that thing is fire. Very strict instructions. When the woman missed her cycle, automatic $1 million insurance policy, and the baby is look like a piece of chewing gum. And y'all thought that abortion was about birthrights and breathing and all that in religion. Lady, man, it was about money. If the Supreme Court establishes that life begins at conception, that means when it's a zygote looking like a piece of chewing gum, you can put an insurance policy on it because it is classified as a living being. Now, if the other side have their way and say that life begins at first breath, then that means that the people who want to implement these insurance policy strategies can't do that until the baby takes a breath. This is about money. It ain't about nothing about no woman's right to choose and all that, man. Smoke screen. It's always about money. So if I can put an insurance policy on a piece of chewing gum, it's a blood clot. And even if she miscarries, whoop, insurance pays out $1 million. If she doesn't carry the baby to term, whoop, insurance pays out $1 million. You can't abort it because Abortion would be classified as murder, and insurance policies don't pay out on murder that's caused by you, the individual. Now, if somebody was to kill the mother and the baby dies in the process, whoop, that's $2 million. See, Satan is dubbed the most subtle creature of all the beasts of the field. When you look at that word subtle, it means cunning and conniving, slick. The most subtle of all the beasts in the field, you can't outsmart him on his own ground. So when we're looking at how this is being played with Social Security, ladies and gentlemen, they got everybody in an uproar about Social Security when Social Security isn't enough money to take care of you anyway. Cost of living goes up every year. How can you afford it? That means you still going to be going to work. Smoke screen. But have you ever noticed that nobody ever promotes and tells you to get life insurance? What do they always talk about? Health insurance. Health insurance. Your job doesn't care nothing about your life. They care only that you are alive long enough to keep bringing yourself to work. That's all they're concerned with. This is why health insurance. And then they made it mandatory. You got to get health insurance. Listen, but this is what I wanted to show you guys on that. And you can go back and look at it. Let me stop sharing. You can go back and read that, all that you want. They have been borrowing money from Social Security. So there is no money in Social Security anyway. They are paying, anybody who's getting Social Security benefits right now is being paid from the interest, the new money that's coming in. Under that definition, it's a Ponzi scheme. You ain't got to take my word for it. You can take it or let it alone. But if you're still worried about somebody taking your benefits and your money, you don't have anything in there anyway. And you're still not getting the full picture of get you a life insurance policy that's cash borrowing. Now, here's the benefits of a cash borrowing life insurance policy. You can go in and borrow money from the life insurance policy. And beautiful part is it's untaxable. You don't have to pay no taxes on it. You don't have to pay no interest on it. And then the best part is you don't even have to pay it back. That's the beautiful part. Wealthy people have been playing this game for so long, and they never, like I said, they never lied. If you ask, they'll tell you. How do you think I got the information? I knew the right questions to ask. Nobody's going to never lie to you. First thing they'll say is, oh, man, how did you hear about that? Because you're not supposed to hear about it. Let me tell y'all something, how the educational system has failed you. If your teachers knew about these strategies, let's not even make it so complicated as teachers. Let's look at it this way. If the person who is preparing your taxes, if they knew, I can bet you $1 to donuts that they wouldn't be doing taxes. They'll be on a yacht somewhere because they will be reaping the rewards of everything that I'm telling y'all. If your teacher knew, why would they be settling for an annual income of $87,000 a year, putting up with these bad demon seed children that's in the school system today? I wouldn't be putting up with no child back talking me and trying to fight me, and I'm an adult for $87,000. And some of them don't even get that. A year one teacher got to get her tenure first, so she's gonna be doing about 75. If teachers knew, look at it, even all the way up to college. If the college professor knew ladies and gentlemen, everything that I'm telling y'all is found in the USC tax code book. How many of you have a copy of that book? And here's the killer. It's free for you to have it. All you got to do is go to the federal courthouse in your city or in your area. Now you can even go on the computer because that book is heavy, man. Look, all you got to do now is go online. Go online. Now, the big beautiful bill, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me tell you why I love it. He just brought back the buy-in. He just bought back 100% bonus depreciation. If y'all don't know what that is, you need to look that up. Under the Biden administration, it dropped down to 60% bonus depreciation. Before Biden, it was still at 100. This is what we talked about. We always, when you guys hear me talk about buying a free car, that was because we was able to utilize the bonus depreciation clause in the tax code. Joe Biden came in and killed that, dropped it all the way down to 60%. And so if anything Trump did, oh yeah, he had to put that back in there, because this is how we're able to purchase things for free. You guys heard me talk about that, man, when I talked about everybody be buying these little 300 series Mercedes-Benz. Look, y'all, I amaze my partners sometimes with the things that I know, and I tell them about it. Hey, man, you dropped $210K? Bro, depreciate that thing all the way down, man, and get all your money back. All you have to do is make those payments for the first year or until tax season. And then put it on the bonus depreciation. Now, there are some things you got to do. Like I always tell you, there are some things that you have to do to put yourself in a position to take advantage of these laws. Not loopholes. There are laws. Some of y'all will never, ever understand and know USC 1605. Some of y'all will never, ever understand USC 1662 or 1632 or 1608, 9, 11. Some of y'all never, ever heard a day in your life the Augusta rule. Nobody has never lied to you. They just didn't tell you. Then you had some smart person say, well, about omission is still the same as a lie. Well, I couldn't omit anything if you never asked. How could I omit it if you didn't even know what to ask? Ladies and gentlemen, stop focusing on losing your Social Security. It's not there. Focus and put your attention on the life insurance policy. $1 million life insurance policy right now will run you, the most expensive I've seen was $574 a month. You pay into that insurance policy a year, you can start borrowing money the very next year. And on top of that, now, even if you don't pay, let's just say it like this. I hope you're not an idiot and try to borrow the whole $1 million. But let's just say you want to build a new house. Ground up. The house is going to cost you $280,000. You can go borrow that $280,000 from your life insurance policy. It's still going to leave $820,000 in your $720,000 in your insurance policy. Even if you default and don't pay back the $280,000, they will deduct the $280,000 from the $720,000, and you still got over $600,000 left. You see how this game works? Untaxable. Some of y'all will never, ever understand that interest is illegal. Some of y'all will never, ever understand or know that a down payment is illegal. You can't charge me $600 for a down payment or charge me $2,000 for a down payment and charge somebody else $400 for a down payment. That's unfair. That's unfair. Some of y'all need to read the tax code. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad y'all rocked with me for this entire time. I hope that I gave you something that you can start researching, man. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Just start researching it. Now, when your research turns up the same thing that I just told you, we both can't be wrong. Huh? Make it make sense. I'm not one of the people to say, believe me instead of your lying eyes. No, I'm telling you to listen to me and then believe your eyes. Because I am going to be saying the same thing that you just read. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been living this life a long time. And if whoever you're listening to can't prove it, that's who you need to stop listening to. And we haven't even gotten into the part of becoming a private citizen where you have to fill out your UCC-1. We haven't even gotten up in the parts of how you pay your bills or your utilities with postage stamps. We haven't even gotten off into that. And I know you guys have probably seen some of those idiots on TikTok going into the power company, paying a power bill with a bag of cornmeal. See, that's when it gets stupid. And that's what makes the government starts paying attention. And then they start changing laws because there's too many idiots out here. I don't care about people knowing how to do it. Just don't be an idiot. These laws have been on the books since the 1800s. And now you got some dummy going in there paying his water bill with a sack of potatoes. It's all legal, but it's the way that they're doing it, man. They're making it bad for the rest of us. All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is get the knowledge, move underground, strategically and deliberately, and get this thing done. So in your older age or when you retire, you won't have to be worrying about Social Security. You think Bill Gates is retired from Microsoft, but he's still a very wealthy man. Bill Gates owns 47% of the farmland in the state of Florida. He owns 38% of the heartland in the United States of America. Why is a tech billionaire buying up farmland? A tech billionaire? Now you want to be an agriculturalist? Y'all better start paying attention, man, and stop watching the smoke screen that this orange orangutan is putting in front of y'all face. Even the Epstein thing is a big smoke screen. Look at what's happening behind the scenes. And stop listening to me. Oh, man. I'll get off and tell y'all about the dummies that be trying to be politics on some of these platforms. They don't know. They're not learned enough. They're not learned enough. When you look at it, 77 million people decided the fate of the United States of America this last election. 77 million. He beat Kamala Harris by 1 million votes. Has anybody ever put two and two together? The population of the United States is 340 million. 340 million. 152 million was involved in the last election. Less than half. Less than half. And 77 million. Somebody should have been smart and saw that coming. Y'all should have saw it coming when nobody in the Democratic Party even stood up for Kamala Harris. Joe Biden didn't give her an endorsement until the very last minute. Barack Obama didn't give her an endorsement until the convention. And Hillary Clinton never gave one. Nobody had faith in Kamala's leadership. So now we have to get prepared for the end time life insurance. This is your info plug, RD Muhammad. Plugging y'all in. Boy, I hope y'all check this thing out, man. Start researching.